Hello. Good evening, my dear students.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Gana. Shall I start, ma'am? Hello. Ajay, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So last class, what we have seen, will you please summarize the things? What is by evolution? Okay. What are the theories of evolution? How the earth is originated and how many years before it is originated, and the first cell organelles and acellular, that things also already we discussed. And what are the theories? Already we discussed, there are 5 theories have been reported by the scientists. What are they? First one is spontaneous. Sorry, special creation, spontaneous. Likewise, we saw it, isn't it? And then biogenesis. Biogenesis is nothing but what is that? The living organism originated from a pre-existing cell or pre-existing organism, isn't it? That things is also we discussed. That is comes under the headings known as biogenesis. Now we are going to talk about abiogenesis or chemical origin of life. Okay, abiogenesis is nothing but already you know about it, without living organisms. Chemical substances, what are the chemical substances formed before the what is the great explosion? Already you know about carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, like that it comes, isn't it? Both are united together form a what is a first water molecule, isn't it? Okay. So after that, it is also collectively called as what is that? Abiogenesis, or called as chemical origin of life, and also modern theory of origin of life. Modern theory. Okay. The majority of the scientists, just like observe it very carefully because it's very, very important one. That's why. Majority of the scientists are the opinion that life originated from inanimated matter. The inanimated is nothing but what is that? Chemical substances. The theory of abiogenic origin or chemical evolution. That stated the statement. That statement is what is that? Inanimated matter. Okay. The life is originated from inanimated matter. That is nothing but the abiogenic component or origin, that is chemical substances. The chemical substances united together form as a what is a molecules. That molecules against what is a, because each and every living organism is made up of what is a molecules, isn't it? Take an example of biomolecule. They are all comes under the getting known as biomolecules. But abiogenic components produce the biogenic components. That is very, very important. Here, abiogenic components, otherwise called as chemical evolutions. Okay. How? What are the things? What are the things we are going to discuss? You know, see here, the life arose by series of sequential chemical reactions. You know, but series of sequential chemical reaction. Each one here is related with one another one. Okay, the water molecules, again it's combined with the molecules of ammonia, that both are united together forms carbon dioxide and also water molecules, and also biomolecule, carbohydrate, protein, lipids. Then finally enter into the which one? In the first living organism. The first living organism also undergo the evolutionary process. Finally, what is it? When it attain which one? You know, the higher components, higher animals such as mammals. Before there are so many metamorphosis also takes place. Okay, that is the thing. See here, lives arose by a series of sequential chemical reaction from non-living, that is also inorganic matter. Okay, there is a general consensus of scientific opinion, hence also called as modern theory or scientific hypothesis, or the naturalistic theory or theory of what is that? Chemical origin, because it is originated from where, you know, the inorganic matter. Inorganic means, you know, but it's already present in the earth. Okay, that is the things. These are all are comes under the headings abiogenesis. That's why it is also called as chemical origin. This is otherwise called as what is a modern theory of origin. That is the here, because it's made up of chemical. See here, what are the statement given by the different scientists? Okay, the name of the scientist is called as what is that? Charles Darwin, 1857. Charles Darwin. How do you know this one? This scientist, what he says? Charles Darwin, natural selection, that thing, isn't it? Are you saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about the Joseph Hooker and also A.I. Oparin? Okay, 1923. The year is also very, very important. And J.P.S. Haldane, 1929, and supported this theory. Oparin named is as a materialistic theory. Once again, repeat for you: the chemical origin of life is also supported. So many scientists here mentioned here: Charles Darwin, Hooker, Oparin, and Haldane. But Oparin named it as which one? Materialistics, because there are so many materials. Okay, is what is that? Involved, otherwise called as chemical substance involved. That's why it is called as materials theory. In his book Origin of Life, already know Charles Darwin. Topic his name is origin of life. Okay. So, maximum so many times they were asked. Material theory is also called as what? Chemical. Okay. The name was given by whom? Which one? The Charles or Oparin or Haldane. So Oparin, just to note it down, this is very, very important. Which book? So Origin of Life. Okay, these are the very important things. Okay, see that? Next. The Oparin Haldane theory is called as a chemical evolution because it is made up of chemical sense and also called as, what is that? Material things, isn't it? That's why. See here, what he states, what he stated the statement in his research analysis. Okay, the Alexander I. Oparin, the full name is Alexander I. Oparin, 1894 to 1980. Okay, a Russian biochemist, and J.P.S. Haldane. The 1890 to see the years. Okay, 2 years. Okay, both are the same period. That is the reasons. Okay, this one is a Russian biochemist, but here the British scientist put forward the concept that the first living things evolved from the non-living things, because non-living things is nothing but the chemical substances. Okay, the first living things originated from the, which one, the non-living things. At some point of times in the remote past times, stated the statement, the living things are originated from the non-living things. Okay, which book? Already told you. In his book Origin of Life in 1938, they may ask the question, the Origin of Life book was introduced in which year? Like that, they may ask. 1938. Oparin submitted that abiogenesis first, but biogenesis ever since. Oparin theory is known as the primary abiogenesis because the Oparin genesis is the primary one. So other scientists also then taken this title and also did their work. That's why this is called as, what is that? Primary abiogenesis. The primary abiogenesis was postulated or stated by which one of the scientists? The Oparin. Okay, it is also called as chemical evolution because it is started from the living things, from the non-living things. Which book? Origin of Life. Which year? 1938. These are all are interrelated. Okay, go to the next one. See, according to Oparin and Haldane, 1929, the spontaneous generation of early molecules might have taken the place of the earth. Which one is the first formed, what is that, molecules present in the earth, taking the first place, like that they told. Once had more the reducing atmosphere compared with the present oxidizing atmosphere. Already I told you, once the earth formation takes place, before the earth, what happened? The great explosion. That time there is no any atmospheric gases present in it, isn't it? After that, what happened? Physiological changes occurs. Then only the oxidizing atmosphere created. That is the things. But first is called as reducing atmosphere, then it is the converted into oxidizing atmosphere with the presence of the chemical substance. Already we discussed biogeocycles, isn't it? Okay. Okay, carbon cycle, hydrogen cycle, nitrogen cycle, sulfur and phosphorus. These are the cycles had happened. Okay. The earlier gas cloud was rich in, already I told you, the earlier gas cloud. It is nothing but, what is that? Anybody else? The gas cloud is also called as. Anybody else, my dear students? What is that?
Sir, reducing atmosphere, sir.
Yeah, I am asking about that gas cloud. Earlier gas cloud name is called as what? What is that? Gas, it's also dust particle present in it, dust. That is called as, what is that? Solar nebula. Already told you, no? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Just listen here. The earlier gas cloud was rich in, yeah, good. hydrogen being present in the form of methane. The hydrogen combined with the carbon molecules. How many hydrogen molecules? How many carbon molecules? One carbon united with the which one? 4 hydrogen molecules. Okay. So methane, ammonia, nitrogen combined with the hydrogen molecules, and also water molecule, 2 hydrogen molecules and 1 oxygen molecule. These are the 3 components where when the earlier gas cloud was rich in hydrogen, being the present in the form of methane, ammonia, and water. The first formed elements they asked, this is the components: methane, ammonia, and water. Okay. So moreover, the atmospheric water vapor condensed into drop of water. Already told you. Okay. The water vapor is nothing but the water molecule, isn't it? It is also undergo the process is called as condensation, otherwise called as condensed. Okay. So as a result, the formation of a first drop of water and fell as rain. That is very particle. How the first rain is formed? The dust particle is the dust particle mixed with the which one? The water as well as the other component, and also undergoes the which one is water vapor. A condensation takes place. Okay, as a result of formation of the single drop of water fall as a rain that rolled down the rock surfaces and accumulated to form a liquid pools and ozone. This is otherwise called as hot diluted soup. Once again repeat for you, this is very, very important, because first water molecules, how it will be formed, they may ask the questions. The water vapor undergo the process called as condensation. Okay. So the first water molecule formation takes place. Likewise, so many water molecules, that means dust particle united with the water vapor. There are so many water molecules formation takes place in the atmosphere and fell as a rain. Okay. After that, what happened? When it come down to the land, what happened? Rolled down the rock surfaces. So many rocks. Okay. They already, they are all are mostly occupied by the, what is that? Rock. Fell into the water molecules and also rolled down to the rock surface and accumulated to form a liquid pools. And where there is a, what is that? Lower surface, otherwise called as where is there is a gap is there, it is filled the water molecule. That condition is called as liquid pool. Suppose if it is a big one, it is considered as a ozone. So this is the first stage of the water molecules, how the liquid pool as well as the ozone was started or created or like that. It is otherwise called as hot diluted soup. Okay, hot diluted means it's also containing what is the hot water. That is very, very important, because the rock is not yet cool, means what happened? The water molecules fall onto the rock, and also it is also heated by the rock. Okay, and then it entered into the ozone, and also it created the liquid pools. See that? And then next, atmospheric chemicals and those in water produce small precursor molecules. Okay, the water molecules fell down from the atmosphere, isn't it? It captured the some components, some chemicals. Okay, hydrogen, oxygen combined together form as a water, and also fell down to the where in the land, and also produce a small precursor molecule. Small precursor molecule. What are the small precursor molecules have been reported? See the such as amino acids, sugar, nitrogen bases. So your amino acids, what is the combination of amino acids? Will you please? How many types of amino acids there? How they are classified? Will you please? Ajay, Dhanalakshmi, and also Ritika or Magasankar. Will you please tell me what is the combination of amino acid? Amino means amino group, NH3. Acid means carboxylic group. Okay, this is the sugar molecules also formation takes place. Sugar molecules means Ma, glucose C6H12O6, the combination of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Nitrogen bases. What are the nitrogen bases? Already in our but what is that? Ammonia, methane. These are all are the nitrogen bases. And finally, when it grows continuously, what happens? It also changes, physiological changes which occurs as a result of formation of other component. Other component means what is that? Protein, nucleic acid, okay, and also lipids, that component. See that these are the, what is the small precursor molecules in the first stage. After that, the precursor molecules, what happen? Already told you. The precursor molecules then combined, resulting in the appearance of the protein molecules. Because protein is also made up of which one, the combination of more than one amino acids by the help of which bond form? Anybody else? The protein is the combination of more than one amino acid, isn't it? By the bond is called as, what is that? Which bond is that? Ajay?
Sir, not sure, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. Suppose if it is wrong, we will correct it. No need to worry. No. Protein. Do you know the answer?
Sir,
Try yourself. Okay, I will inform you. No need to worry. Okay.
sir, is it ether
More than
bond, sir?
one amino
Sir,
acid. No.
Sir?
Peptide bond. You know where about? Peptide bond. Okay. Peptide
Yes,
bond.
sir.
Yeah, because the protein molecules also made up of more than one peptides, polypeptides. Okay. Protein molecules united with the help of the, what is that? Peptide bond. Okay, no need to worry. Doesn't matter. You just note it down. Okay. See, the more than one amino acid united together forms the, what is that? Peptide bond. Okay. What about the polysaccharide? It consists of two components. What is it? Acid group is also present in it, and also base. NH3 is the base, and COOH is the acid. That's why it is called as, what is that? Amphoteric nature. Positive as well as negative components present in the same component. That is called as, what is that? Amphoteric nature, otherwise called as jitter ions. The amino acids is also called as jitter ions. What about the polysaccharides? Saccharide is nothing but the sugar molecule, isn't it? Polysaccharide means more than one sugar molecules. Here the sugar molecule formation takes place. More than one sugar molecule united with the help of which bond here? Anybody else?
Sir,
Oh, yeah, polysaccharide.
sir, is it phosphodiester bond, sir?
No, Karna. Phosphodiester bond comes where, in the nucleic acid, isn't it? Take an
Yes,
example,
sir.
polysaccharide. Yeah. No need to worry. Glycosidic, glucose, 1,4-glycosidic, 1,2 beta, 1,4 glycosidic linkage, polysaccharides. Okay, 1,4, 1,2 glycosidic linkage, because it's a saccharide. Otherwise called as sucrose, otherwise called as sugar. Okay, these are all sugar molecules. Okay, you note it down. So from the small precursor molecules, which one is the originator? Which one is forms? Protein molecules, polysaccharide, and nucleic acid is that. Then what happened? The energy source for such reactions are organic synthesis, where the UV radiations, already we discussed, electric discharge, lightning, intense dry heat, volcanic, and eruption, and radioactive decay of various elements on the earth surface. Okay, already you know very well, but there are so many elements present on the surface of the earth. They are all undergoes the further reaction by the actions of UV radiation and electric discharge, intense dry heat, and eruption and radioactive decay. Okay, these are all happen. First, you should know these are the two things is very, very important. Small precursor molecules, what are they? Amino acids, sugar, and nitrogen base. After that, it undergoes the, what is that? Combined state. Okay, that is protein molecule. Protein molecule comes from where? The amino acids. Amino acids, more than, how many amino acids have been reported? 300 amino acids is there, but our body is synthesized utilized total 20 amino acids. Total 22 is there, but this two amino acids will be left. Okay, iso category, what are they? I will tell you later. Okay, amino acids, 20 amino acids it will for the production of protein biosynthesis. Okay, and polysaccharides, so many polysaccharides, monosaccharide, disaccharide, and polysaccharides. The polysaccharide is also very, very important. That means the combination of more polysaccharides. Nucleic acid means combination of what is that? Sugar molecule, nitrogen bases, and phosphate. These are all the important things. We will see the things. Okay, these are the very, very important things. For the next one, see that Oparin-Haldane theory. This is nothing but the Haldane soup. Haldane soup is already I told you. This is the structure of microsphere. Okay, the Haldane soup is the simple molecule. The simple molecules converted into complex molecules. Simple molecules already in our amino acid. Okay, so the nitrogen bases and so on. They are all united together form as a complex molecule. This is complex molecule. What is that? Polysaccharide, nitrogen bases, and also proteins. Okay, then what happened? It's also further conversion thing. Aggregates, conservates, and the microsphere. This is called as microsphere. This is the first molecules. Then protocell, the pro-primitive stage before the formation of true cell. That may consider as a what is that? Primitive cells or protocells. Protocells means what is that? It is not a true cells. It is similar to that of the cell, but it is not a true cells. Then the true cells, when it comes, the protocell converted into with the addition of the nucleic acid, addition of the DNA molecule. We may call it as a protocell is completely lack of nucleic acid. So undergo the cell replication process. Okay, then why it is replicating itself? Because the DNA present in it. The DNA present in it, what happened automatically? It is a self-replicating process. I ask you one question. Why the DNA molecule is called as what is a genetic material? Why the DNA molecules called as a genetic materials? Anybody?
So,
yeah.
So why DNA molecules is considered genetic material, sir?
Oh, why it is called as genetic material? DNA as a genetic material. Yeah.
So yes, sir, because it contains so because like when from parents to offspring it passes on, sir, and it passes the characteristics of the species to the offspring.
Okay. Suppose take an example of RNA. Why it is not a DNA? Why it is not a what is a genetic material? RNA is also nucleic acid, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Then why we called DNA as a genetic material, but it is not a RNA is not a genetic material?
So DNA have genes, sir.
Okay.
RNA don't.
You are coming that point, but it's near only. Okay. See here the last point. What is that? Here. I the arrow is I'm showing. Which one?
So
here. Yeah, last one. Cell before one. The arrow is indicating.
So protocells plus nucleic acid is equal to self-replicating system.
So that is
replicating system.
Replication only possible where
DNA, sir.
DNA only, right? Okay, RNA it is also self-replication is possible. It is not possible, isn't it?
No, sir. No, sir.
That is the reason. That is the reason for the self-replication. Then only, okay, the segregation is possible. We are all similar to our parents. That means the segregation of the molecule from the one generation to another generation by genes or DNA. That is the what is a polynucleotide. They may call it as a polynucleotide. So as a result, the form is now cells. The first cell is originated from the Haldane soup, simple molecule, then complex molecules aggregate to give a co-surface as well as microspheres. After the formation of microsphere, it produces the protocells. It is not a true cell. The protocell again converted into which one? The addition of the nucleic acid. The nucleic acid is nothing but the DNA, not the RNA molecules. Okay, when it united together, these two, it is nothing but the cell. That cell is called as true cell, because the presence of DNA molecule, it is also undergo the, what is the replication process. That is very, 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 very important. These are the, what is the changes is stated by the statement by Oparin-Haldane theory. You got it? Okay. For the next one, see, Oparin-Haldane theory of chemical evolutions. The entire process of chemical evolution can be divided into the following steps. These are the steps have been reported by the Oparin-Haldane. What is the first one? The origin of Earth and its primitive atmosphere. Origin of Earth is the primitive atmosphere. Primitive means, there is no any gases. After that, what happened? Formation of ammonia, water, and methane. These are the first component. You note it down. So many times they were asked the questions. Which is the primitive atmospheric component? Formation molecules, they may ask the question. Then organic compound, that is called as synthesis of simple organic compound. What are they? What are they? Polysaccharides. What is it? Protein molecules, nitrogen bases. Okay, from where the simple molecules. Then the formation of carbon complex organic compound. Carbonic complex means so many things is there. Okay, and the formation of nucleic acid, and then formation of protobiont or pre-cell. This is the primitive cell. Directly it's not comes. This is called as protocell, isn't it? Pre-cell is also called as protocells. It is not a true cell. After that, the formation of the first cells. Then the first cell undergo the biological evolution. Okay, the biological evolution means in our body it is started from the single cell organisms. That is called as, what is that? Amoeba, bacteria, and so on. So many things is there. Okay, these are the things. Once again, repeat for you. Oparin-Haldane theory of the chemical evolution stated by the so many steps. What are the steps? Is the origin of Earth and its primitive atmosphere, and formation of ammonia, water, and methane is the second one. And third one, synthesis of simple organic compound, and formation of complex organic compounds, and the formation of nucleic acid, and formation of the protobiont, and also the pre-cells, and then formation of the first cell. The first cell is also undergo the biological evolution. Finally, it attained the, which one the up to the level of mammals. Okay, what are the changes here? The primitive changes, how many times it will take? It is also from the primitive atmosphere to the cell, single cell. It will take so many millions of years. Already we discussed 4 million. The Earth is formed 500 millions. Before that, which one life is started. That means the first cell is started means the life is started, like that. Got it? See that. The experimental evidence. Okay, so many times scientists how the life is originated. Okay, which is the first cell, whether conservates, whether atmosphere, non-organic, inorganic. Okay, so which is the first one? What is that? Analyzed so many years spent for their lives. Okay, for the how the life is originated, because we are all human beings, isn't it? That's why. Okay, the experimental evidence. So many scientists did their experimental aspect. Okay, see that biogenic molecular evolution of life. This was first one. Biogenic. Biogenic means absence of living organism. First one, Harald. Okay, see Urey is the first scientist. The 1893 and 1981, an astronomer asked his student Stanley L. Miller, a biochemist, to replicate the primordial atmosphere as propounded by Oparin and Haldane. The first scientist there, okay, started the things, how the molecules are formed. Okay, we can do that in the laboratory aspects. We can add the components, okay, hydrogen, and also oxygen molecules, and carbon and hydrogen, and nitrogen and hydrogen, and hydrogen. Okay, addition with the lab in the a particular flask or something else, what will happen inside? What are the, whether the biomolecule formation takes place or not? Like that, they did their work in the laboratory aspects. Okay, see here what Urey did the work. See that Miller sealed in a spark chamber. Listen here, spark chamber means it gives some, what is that? Electrical charges. They use their lighting and electrical. A mixture of water, a mixture of what is the mixture? The addition with the water with the mixture. The mixture is composed of which one you know? The methane, ammonia, and hydrogen. They asked the question. The Haraldi Ure did their work. The chamber containing the mixture is what are the component? These are the components: methane, ammonia, and also hydrogen gases. Okay, he made arrangement for insertion of 2 electrodes to the provide electrical energy. I already told you. This is called a spark chamber. Spark chamber means the center there is a medium is there. Inside there is a 2 pole is there, the positive charge as well as a negative charge. When you are passing the current, what happen in between there is a molecule interchanges also happen. That is stimulating of the what is that? Lighting. As a result, the sparks come out, and the time the molecules within the, itself, what are the changes occurs? He observed it. Okay, see here, he made an arrangement for insertion of 2 electrodes where the mixture of the gases present in that means spark chamber, okay, containing mixture. The mixture also, what is that? Insert 2 electrode along with the which one you know? Mixture provide electrical energy, and also he gave the energy. Which one? Electrical energy. He passed the electric current. So as a result, what happened? The sparks also created. During that time, what happened within the chemical substance or mixture? He observed it. See that? See, this is the experiment. Okay, this is the experiment. This gases component also present in it. This here, the water is also here. The water vapors and also enter in this way to here. Here the electrode is also given. Okay, the positive charge as well as negative charge. During that, what happened? The sparks also, what is that? Produced. That spark. How it will be? What it will be? What are the changes which occur within the molecules? It means methane, ammonia, and also hydrogen, and also water molecule, hydrogen. What are the changes which occurs? He was observed. After that, he come to the conclusion. From that, water vapor is also eliminated. The water vapors come here, and also the condenser. It was cooled by the again the water droplets. It's again entered into this place. Again the heat is also given by the light, as there is a water vapor. Again entered in the same process. Okay, this was done by the Urey-Miller experiment. They asked the question Urey-Miller experiment. So what is the chemical composition present in the container? Okay, so this is very, very important. As a result, what comes after 18 days? Just to note it down, how many days he did the work? He does their work. Okay, did their work, not does, did their work. After 18 days, significant amount of simple major organic compounds such as amino acid and a peptide chain began to appear in the aqueous sample of the experimental set. That is very, very important. Okay, we come to the conclusion. Okay, before the when the ancient ages, the atmosphere containing so many components that component may be united after 18 days or 10 days or 5 days or whatever it may be. The formation of molecules like that due to the what is the lighting, the thunder, and also sunlight also, UV rays and radiation, whatever it may. Already we saw that one, isn't it? As a result, what happened? The complex molecules converted into simple molecules converted to complex molecules. So that is called as amino acids and peptide. They asked the question, Urey-Miller theory was conducted how many days? 18 days. What will be the end product? Amino acid and peptide chain. Okay, see here. So such a biogenically produced amino acid and nitrogen bases oxidize of copper ion and saturated hydrate, etc. were in low concentration. This is the important that a biogenically produced compound. Biogenically, Urey-Miller produced the component, which one you know? Amino acid and nitrogen bases. These are the very low concentration. Later on, this molecule polymerized to form a complex molecule. We come to the conclusion. That means simple component converted to what is that? Complex. Okay, complex means more than one. Okay, polymerization. Polymerization more than one. So that is the amino acid. One is nothing but the only one amino acids is there. Only one peptide is there. The one peptide undergoes a polymerization reaction. As a result, the formation of which one you know? Complex substances. Entire molecules. You know about the protein molecules. What are the protein molecule? According to the structure, they may be divided into how many types? 4 types is there. Simple molecules, simple protein, and also complex and derivative proteins also. According to the structure, they may be divided into 4 types. One is, what is that? Primary structure and a secondary structure and a tertiary structure and also quaternary structure. Okay, that is also one of the polymerase states, more than one amino acid. That is the reason. That is simple molecule converted into complex molecule by the process is called as molecule polymerization. So in the primeval atmosphere, the electrical discharge, lighting, solar energy, ATP and polyphosphate might have provided the source of energy. After that, what happened? ATP molecules may be synthesized. Okay. Thus, polymers that formed faster or were more stable would have come to predominate. That is the final stage. Okay. Simple molecules, compound molecule. The compound molecules produced complex molecule. The complex molecules undergo the further electrical discharge and lighting and solar energy produce a high energy compound such as ATP and polyphosphate component. This is the final stage of the energy. That means this is the end. Okay, this is the predominant in nature. Predominance. So many ATP molecule formation takes place. As a result, what happened? That is a see the process need for the spontaneous origin of life. These are all already we know earlier, but isn't it? Non-living synthesis, simple organic molecule. The assembly of these molecules into polymers and origin of self-replicating molecules made inherited possible. Okay, the packaging of these molecules into membranous. These are the 4 major steps involved. So okay, see this all happen. Okay, already we saw it. So these things. See, and another one is enclosing the prebiotic system. For these replicators, origin of life, at least the 3 conditions need to have been fulfilled. Okay, the replicator must need what is that? 3 conditions. What are the 3 conditions? Already we saw it. The things. See here, supply of replicator. That is a self-producing molecule. Which one is self-producing molecule? DNA as a genetic. DNA as a self-producing molecule, because DNA produces another DNA. That process is called as replication. Okay, and supply of replicators. Okay, the replicator molecule also gives another common. What? The high temperature copying the prevailing in early Earth would have easily fulfilled the second condition. Perpetually supply of free energy and the partial isolation from the general environment. This is the second conditions. Okay, what is that? Isolation, partially isolation from the general environment. Then only the new organism are formed from the atmosphere. Okay, it is also isolated from the component. The third condition, the partial isolation has been attained with aggregates of artificially produced prebiotic molecules. This is very, very important. These are the 3 steps. Self-replicated molecule is the self-replicated molecules also what is that? Converted into which one? Perpetual supply of free energy. The free energy, when the free energy supply also takes place, it's also isolated from the general environment. The general environment, after the isolation of the general environment too, it artificially produce which one? Prebiotic molecules, not for the organisms. That is very, very important. Biotic molecules only produce. After that, molecules enter into the also produce the what is that? Single cell. It is also evolution aspects, evolution process. See, this aggregate called propionate can separate combination of molecules from the surrounding and maintain an internal environment, but are unable to reproduce. This is very, very important. The molecules also produce. The molecules, what happens? Undergoes the separate combination of the molecule from the surroundings. Surrounding some of the molecules present in it. It is also isolated and maintain an internal environment within the body. Okay, but are unable to reproduce, but it cannot be able to produce their own offspring. Such type is formed. The 2 important propionts are very, very, very important. Propionts, conservates and microsphere. That is very, very important. This is the first, what is that? Reproduce components. Unable to produce component. Which one? This is a molecules formed from propions. Propion is the component. The propion component, what are the combination? These are the two components, co-servates and microspore. They cannot be able to produce themselves. The nucleic acids appear to be good candidates for fulfilling the first condition, that is the supply of replicator. It is the prokaryotic life. Prokaryotic life is the after the formation of nucleic acid, what happens? The DNA undergoes the replication process, then only the offspring is possible. This is a fantastic, what is that? Changes. Okay. When the nucleic acid introduced, that time only, what is the life is originated. That is very, very important. See here, DNA did not evolve as a hereditary molecule until the RNA based. So DNA, what happened? DNA, it is not itself, what happened? It will not evolve as a hereditary molecule, because with the absence of RNA, the DNA is not functional. Okay, so the DNA produce the RNA molecules. Okay, that condition is called as what is the transcription. Suppose DNA produce DNA, what is that? Replication. DNA produce RNA, it is called as transcription. And DNA, RNA produce protein, it is called as translation. Okay, so the DNA molecule produce the RNA, undergo the transcription process, then only what happen? The hereditary molecules possibility, that means the ability will be, capability will be, what is that? Possible. Okay, what happened? Base life become enclosed in the membranes. Once cells evolved, DNA probably replaced RNA as a genetic material for most organisms. Some of the categories, the DNA is not formed. Okay, take an examples. Which one? Some of the category means, take an example, plant viruses. The RNA as a genetic material. Okay, in that category, DNA is not possible. Take an examples of cauliflower mosaic virus. What is the, which one? DNA as a genetic material. It is a plant virus, but it is not a RNA as a genetic material. It possesses which one? DNA as a genetic material. Okay, take an example of HIV. Okay, HIV, about which one is the HIV? Human immunovirus. The human immunovirus contain which one? Which one as a genetic material? RNA as a genetic material. How many RNA molecules present in? 2 single standard RNA molecule with 2 copy of reverse transcriptase enzymes. That is very, very important. Okay, so this is a very, very important. The first one is nothing but, what is that? Propion. Propion, what are the things is that? Conservate and microsphere. This is it do not have the replication process. So the addition of DNA is added. DNA molecule formation, nitrogen base, sugar molecule, and also the phosphate. Okay, as a result, DNA formation. DNA, it will not undergo the heredity because the lack of RNA. Because DNA produce RNA molecule. Both are united together and also functional together. That is the reasons. Then the RNA molecules, what is that? Sometimes it's lack means the what happened? DNA is a functional one. Finally, RNA, it's also a act as a genetic material. It's most of the organisms. See that. The earliest cell formation, how it be formed. Already know about conservates. Another component is also formed. And then, what is that? DNA formation takes place. DNA to RNA takes place. And RNA to, what is that? First cell, how it will be appear. See here. The earliest cell is first anaerobic conditions. Listen here. Anaerobes. First, the anaerobes is possible because absence of oxygen. There is no any respiratory organ is there. Primitive microorganism, whether it may be organisms called as what is that? Prokaryote. The first living organism having arisen in a sea because it is aquatic. Sea means water. So there is no any respiratory organ is there of organic molecules and in contact with an atmosphere lacking of oxygen. Reducing atmosphere, presumably obtain energy by the fermentation of some of this organic molecule. How will we get the energy? That means some of the organic molecule present in the where? In the water, sea. That molecule undergoes the fermentation process. There is no need of oxygen. Fermentation, the only what is that? Carbon dioxide elimination takes place, isn't it? So of these organic molecule, the earliest organism presumably were anaerobes, absence of oxygen. Such types of microorganism is called as anaerobes. So they may ask the question, the first earliest cell is anaerobes. Okay, they can survive only lack of oxygen molecules. Some of the heterotrophs might have evolved into the autotrophs. Heterotrophs also present. What is that? There is no oxygen, but at the same time, some of the heterotrophs also present because the chemical substance is there, no? So the heterotrophs also might have evolved into autotrophs. Suppose they may produce the chlorophyll molecules. After the formation of chlorophyll molecule, they may enter into the where? The presence of sunlight, they may be produce their own food material, that is called as autotrophs. So these are the possible first takes place within the sea in the anaerobic conditions. Here are absence of oxygen. After that, these organic were capable of producing their own organic molecule by chemosynthesis. That's the reason. That's why heterotrophs is also one of the microorganism or plant or animal, whatever it may be. Have they synthesized their own food material with the help of the chemicals? That's why they are all are considered known as chemosynthesis. Chemosynthesis means chemical substances utilized for their production of their own food materials. Okay, there is a reason. Once again, earlier cells lacking of oxygen, the first molecules otherwise called as anaerobes produce. How they get the energy from water molecules mean by the process called a fermentations. Then it entered the heterotrophs. Heterotrophs means you know very about it. What is that? The chemical substance present in the water. It utilized by the microbes and produce their own food material. That so the heterotrophs also convert into autotrophs. Sometimes it may be like that. So it is collectively called as chemosynthesis because it utilizes the chemical substances present in the water molecules. Okay. Okay, go to the next one. See, evolution of life forms, a theory. It is also another one. Evolution, the process that result in heritable changes in a population spread over many generations. The changes in allele frequency over time, leading to the diversity of organism on Earth, is called as evolutions. Exact definition of evolution is, what is that? It is a heritable changes spread over many generations. That is very, very important. Many generations, not only the first generation or second generation. How many generation is that? How many years the cell is present? Each and every cell is there. Take an example of prokaryote. Bacteria is there. Bacteria is also undergo the development. Finally, it will attain the up to the level of what is that? Higher animals like that. Okay. So how many generation? Many generation. Okay, leading to the diversity of an organism on Earth is called as evolution. Not only that, and also otherwise it is called, it is the genetical changes, heritable changes here, and also genetical changes. DNA molecules also undergo the what is that changes. How it will be gene mutated. Gene mutation also takes place by the process of which one, whether it may be chemical substances, whether it may be lightning, whether it may be UV rays present in the sun. Individuals or the selected populations, what is that? Evolve. These are the things. It is a genetic changes in a population or a species over generation, that is gene mutated individuals or the selected population evolve. These are all very, very important. That is evolution definition. They may ask the questions. Yeah, these are the two exact explanation of the evolution process. Okay, see here. Next, evidences. What are the evidences? How it will be? For example, take an example. Mammoth is one of the elephants was identified or found in the what is that? North Africa or South Africa, like that. How will you get it? What is the evidence? See that so many evidence have been reported so many times. Scientists. Okay, see that Charles Robert Darwin, 1809 and 1882. An English naturalist documented evidence of evolution mainly on the basis of geographical distributions. geographical distribution, because geographical distribution is nothing but the depends upon the what is the temperature, cold climate, tropical, modern, moderate, and also sometimes it may be very heavy, hot, summer. Take an example, sir. Okay, so many places there, Arctic, Antarctic. Okay, it's also 66.5 degree Celsius. That is minus maybe 50 degrees Celsius, like that it comes. Geographical distribution of species and the fossil record. So many animals, due to the natural disasters, what happened, buried under the soils. Okay, they are all digged by the what is the archaeologist. Finally, we'll get the record. Oh, the dinosaurs also nowadays, dinosaurs bone as well as the egg also nowadays they were found. They are analyzed. They got it. Okay, the fossils records. And then the evolution, the term coined by, this is very, very important. Evolution, the term coined by Herbert Spencer in 1856. Okay, here the 1856, the 5 is added. Here the 1856, note it down. This is very, very. Evolution term was given by the name of the scientist, Herbert Spencer. Note it down, my dear students. The slow continuous, irreversible, that is very, very important. Natural process of changes to give into the advanced and the diverse forms of life. That is very, very important. Multicellular organisms do not undergo the reversible reaction. Okay, reversible, multiple to single organism. Okay, single to multiple organisms is possible. Multiple organism is single, it is not possible. That is why they stated the statement: slow, continuous, irreversible, and natural process of changes to give into advanced and diverse form of life. Okay, the term evolution originated from the word revolvere, which means unfold or unrolled as life is process of going on. This is very, very important. So many times it's also sometimes evolution meaning what is that? Okay, unfold or unrolled, going on. Evolution means what is the meaning? There is no end. There is no end. It is nothing but the infinity. Okay, that is very, very important. The term evolution was given by the scientist Herbert Spencer. The meaning of the evolution is called as, it originated from one of the words, it's called as revolvere. It means unfold or unroll, as a life is a process of going on. Okay, like that you have to tell. From bacteria to man and from diatom to the trees, these are all wide differences, yet they share some common features. This is the very, very important. I did told you, a single organism is a bacteria. How it will be grow as a man? There are physiological changes occurs in the mutated, and also evolution process occurs. Then only the bacteria, single cell organism, at the same time prokaryote converted to multicellular man. Okay, so likewise diatom is also a single cell, and tree is a multicellular. How it will be possible? These are the changes. They changes the properties of populations through the generation, is the biological or the organic evolution. This is the very, very, the changes the properties of the population, not only the characteristics. And when the properties changes, what happens? Automatically the character, the ability, inherited standards, and also reproducibility and behavioral aspects, all are undergo the changes. See here, Darwin 1859 defined it as the descent with the modification. Descent with the modification. Descent modification. Who stated the statement? Descent with modification. Like that, they may ask the question. Darwin in the year 1859. And Biogenesis 1973 said, nothing in biology makes sense except in the light of evolution. Nothing in biology makes sense except in the light of evolution. It is also another statement given by the Biogenesis. These are the two statements has been reported in your book. Note it down, very, very important. Darwin, descent with the modifications. Okay, see that? I think we will finish it up to this level only. See here, there are so many evidence have been reported. What are the evidences? Is the several evidence convenience that modern diverse forms of organisms have arisen by evolution from more ancient forms following are the main evidences. So many evidence have been reported by the scientists there. Maybe like these as taxonomical aspects, whether physiological, whether morphological, whether comparatively anatomy, and embryology, cytology, genetic, and paleontology, like that. Okay, so many evidence have been reported by the scientists. Maybe like that. It may be taxonomical evidences. Take an example: monocot and dicot, gymnosperm, angiosperm. What are the taxonomical classification is there? It may be related with this one, xylem and phloem. There may be a complex tissues like that. They give so many evidences. What are the evidences have been reported? Here I listed one by one. See, evidence from taxonomy. Some other scientists take a taxonomical aspects. Okay, evidence from taxonomy. Evidence from connective links. Just imagine connective links. Okay, what is the meaning of connective links? See, reptile and bird, there is a connection. Reptile is nothing but the is only land. Bats is also a flying one. In between, there is a one of the things that is called as archaeotrophs. Serio? Okay, these are the links. And the evidence from physiology and biochemistry, physiological, structural aspect, biochemistry, biochemical of each and every cells, which is the component, which is it is made up of which component, like that. The biochemical aspect. Biology means the science, the deep study of the plant and animal. But cell wall is made up of chemistry. What are the chemical relations between the each and every organism, like that? Evidence from anatomy, morphology, and also comparative. Comparative means but take an example of monocot and dicot, stem or root. When you are going to take the anatomical structure, then only you know the internal structure, the tetrad stage, like that. Epidermis, endodermis, mesodermis, like that. Okay, that thing. Evidence from embryology. Embryology means take an example of all the living organisms. Take a monkey, cow, buffalo, or whatever it may be, even man also. Embryological aspects, evidences. In primitive stages, all are similar structures in nature. After the 4 months or 5 months, okay, what happened? The changes happen. Then only it comes to the conclusions. Oh, this one is bad. This one is, what is that? Cow. This one is called as, what is that? Mammals, like that. Okay. Evidence from cytology and genetics. Cytology is cell structure. Genetics means what are the genetic components, DNA or RNA, like that. Evidence from paleontology, fossils. Okay, take an example of dinosaurs. Okay, the Jurassic Park is also one of the paleontological film. The scientists did it, Okay, the evidence from the biogeography. Biogeography means the living organism on the surface, the atmosphere. What are the microorganisms? What are the animal? Dinosaurs, where, when it lives, which era, which Maya, like that. They may ask the questions. Okay, we will see the remaining thing on the next class. Thank you for the participation, and go through the lesson. Then only you will get the, what is that, ideas. Okay. Thank you, my dear students. Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.